Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For everyone who didn't see my last video, it was my first Monday Night Raw review. So now I'm going to do my first Smackdown live review. So without further ado, here we go. First off, it begins with AJ Styles in the locker room with a few other guys. And he says, look, I'm the face that runs the place now because I beat John Cena at SummerSlam and this is my show now. He suddenly gets in the face of Dolph Ziggler and says, oh, you couldn't get the job done against Dean Ambrose last night to become the world champion. Dolph Ziggler doesn't take this very lightly and gives him a headbutt and they start brawling and it's they're both separated by everybody and then it goes to the Smackdown promo. Next takes us to the ring with two brand new titles, the SmackDown Women's Championship and the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, with the superstars that are hoping to become the champions. Shane is joined by Daniel Bryan, and he says that at Backlash there will be a 6-pack Women's Championship match to determine a new women's champion for the SmackDown brand. And over the coming weeks there will be a tournament to determine which team will go to Backlash and compete in the finals to make new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Suddenly Heath Slater comes out and says that he wants some gold around his waist. Shane and Daniel Bryan say, well, you haven't got the right material to be a women's champion. But then he says, no, I want to be a tag team champion. So Daniel Bryan gives Heath Slater the opportunity to go to the back by the end of the night to find a partner to make it an 8 tournament. And if he finds a partner by the end of the night, he will be in the match, but he gives him a stipulation. He needs to win said tournament with his partner to get a full-time SmackDown Live contract. AJ Styles then comes down to the ring talking about what he did to John Cena again, only to be blindsided by Dolph Ziggler and attacked from behind. The SmackDown superstars then try and break up the fight between Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles, and then it cuts to commercial. First match of the night is Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss with Naomi and Natalya on commentary, just talking about the new women's championship and who deserves to be the champion more. It's a good match between Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is back and forth with Becky Lynch and she's trying to lock in an arm bar on Alexa, and she eventually attacks her, gets her in an arm bar and makes her submit. So it's over the last couple of weeks Alexa Bliss pinned Becky Lynch, so now Beck's got her revenge. At the end of the match you had Heath Slater going into the locker room to try and find a partner, and he runs into the Miz, who says, oh Miz, I've been looking for you, just the man I need to find. I think we should be go for the tag team titles. Suddenly the Miz takes off his hood, which he's reviewing. He's on the phone and he's not listening to a word that Heath Slater's saying, and it's just a pointless interview with the Miz. Next it will take us to the tag tournament for the first round for the tag team titles. It's the Ascension versus the Usos, and it's a really good match. The Usos taking it to the longest reigning NXT champions, and after a splash from one of the Usos, they knock off the Ascension, which puts them as the first competitors to be in the tournament. So I like to see how far they get, to see how far they get. AJ Styles then comes down to the ring to talk about what he did to John Cena again, and says that he deserves, because he beat John Cena at SummerSlam, that he deserves to be the #1 contender for Dean Ambrose's WWE World title. And because Dolph Ziggler is upset at the fact that he came this close to winning the title the night at SummerSlam, that he deserves to be in the match against Dean Ambrose. So Daniel Bryan comes out and says, "I've had enough of this, lads. You either... Everybody wants to see you fight. So tonight, setting up a match for later on in the evening, it'll be AJ Styles versus Dolph Ziggler. And if AJ Styles wins, he faces Dean Ambrose one-on-one at Backlash. And if Dolph Ziggler wins, he gets added to the match to make it a triple threat." Next, it's Nikki Bella's long-awaited debut on the SmackDown roster after coming back from injury. She gets in the ring, about to have a in-ring interview with Renee Young, and she gets attacked from her soon-to-be opponent Carmella. Beats her up from behind, claiming that, "Oh, I'm the next one, Nikki. Where have you been all this?" Saying that she's a loser and all this. And hits her with a Bella Buster, dropping her on her face. So it's a heel turn for Carmella, I think. But other than that, yeah. Next, Orton comes down to the ring to explain what happened to him at SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar. He says that one day Brock Lesnar and my path will join again. He's still standing after what happened with Brock, but he would have much rather been taken out on a stretcher or a gurney than the way the match ended. Suddenly he gets joined by Bray Wyatt and said, "I saw the look in your eyes, man, the way what Brock did to you, because you're just a man who's born, who lives and dies, but you'll find out soon enough." Orton was goating him into the ring. He got up off his rocking chair, lights went out, Bray's disappeared. He went backstage while Shane McMahon was talking to Charles Robinson, a referee. An interviewer came up and said, after what happened at SummerSlam, do you think that Stephanie is going to take it seriously? And he said that Stephanie fined Brock Lesnar $500 and said, "Do you really think Stephanie and Brock are taking this seriously? All I have to say is that this situation between Brock Lesnar and myself will be handled at another date." Next goes to the backstage area where Heath Slater is talking to somebody, saying that the Nature Boy Heath Slater and this partner are going to win. Ends up being Double A, Arn Anderson. He turns out and says, "Look, you're my last choice, you're my last hope, Arn." Arn turns around and says, "So I wasn't your first choice. Big mistake." Heath Slater then turns round and walks into Rhino. They make a decision and they form an alliance. So I think that now Heath Slater and Rhino are going to be the last team. So to make it a 8-person tournament. So let's see how good this turns out. Next match, it's Breezango, I think that's how you pronounce it, and versus American Alpha, two two guys coming up from NXT trying to make a name for themselves in the SmackDown Tag Team division. The winner of this will advance to the semi-finals, possibly to face the Usos next week. And it was a good match. At the beginning of the match, it was all American Alpha. It was totally getting over Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Second part of the match, when it came back to after the TV ad, it was back over to Breezango, and just at the end they whipped it up a little bit, and American Alpha advanced. So it's I'd like to see which team goes up to the next round. Next, he went for an interview with Dean Ambrose, the WWE World Champion. The interviewer wanted to know Dean Ambrose's thoughts about the match to determine the #1 contender for the WWE World title against AJ Styles versus Dolph Ziggler. He said, yeah, I've just found out about the match. For argument's sake, it could be the Grizzly Bear versus, I can't remember who else it was, Honorable Snowman probably, I'm just making it up. So we had to come down and see what was going on. He's going to be on commentary for the match. So yeah, we'll see what happens in that match. Next is the match between AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler to determine the #1 contender for Dean Ambrose's WWE World Championship to be determined at Backlash. After a back and forth match with like chain wrestling and high flying kicks and flips and twists and bumps and everything, AJ Styles finally delivers a Styles Clash to Dolph Ziggler and gets the pinfall. So now it's AJ Styles will challenge Dean Ambrose at Backlash for the world title. So AJ Styles then climbs out of the ring, gets into the face of Dean Ambrose, who's sitting on commentary with the announcement team. Pulls off Dean's headset and starts talking trash. Dean Ambrose just gets up and just looks at his face and gives him trash, and they exchange words, and AJ Styles just smiles and backs off. Well guys, that was my first edition of my SmackDown review. Thank you for taking the time to listen. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and put your comments in the box below. And yeah, this has been Chris Whitchurch, and until I see you in the next video, stay shiny. Thank you.